What's up guys, Bass Clef here. Yes indeed, it's the new Native Instruments Maschine MK3. I've been excited to test this one out for a while. Let's dive in and have a look at some of the new features. It's about the same size as the old Mark II, but it's got so much more stuff. It still runs off bus power, but you can plug in power to make the screens brighter and all the lights brighter behind the buttons as well too. First thing you're probably going to notice is the screens. They're like the ones off the studio, but they even seem a little bit more crystal clear and sharp. They're really nice. I'm really impressed with these. These are going to be so nice to work on. It's always love working on the studio, but it's nice to have something that's a bit smaller to work with. Now we can not only edit your samples in a nicer way, but you can also get into your events much easier like this too. Zoom in and scroll around, select parts of them and edit them as well too. Clear them out, undo, move them around, all that kind of stuff. You're pretty much never going to need to look at the computer. I love this kind of stuff. You got your mixer there as well. And it's going to make it great for when you're browsing through samples, plug-in packs, all that kind of stuff. Got full big pictures of everything here, into effects. Super nice interface. You can even come into the arranger with this dedicated button here and see everything that's going on there as well. Zoom right in and move through, see exactly what's happening. Or just to check out what patterns you're using or what sounds you might want to mute. Next up, the buttons. I love the new buttons. I like how they've made it black now and the words are white and the light shines through. This is going to be so much better for when you're working in low light, in your studio at nighttime or in the club. So much easier to read everything without a whole lot of glaring light in your face. They've added a whole bunch of extra dedicated buttons now too. The first four that look super handy to me are these four dedicated ones they've added in here. Now it's just a single button push for pad mode, keyboard mode, chords and step. So you can get straight into your single sounds, your keyboard to play, your chords, or your step sequencer to program things in with the corresponding screens. They've even put in a dedicated button for fixed velocity, which is super handy. There's a much bigger note repeat button now. Easier to hit when you're finger drumming. There's a macro set knob where you can go in here and you can assign your macros all from the hardware now without even having to do it on the computer. Dedicated button for the mixer. There's a dedicated button for the mixer and the arranger, so we can jump straight in there. Also the save button is now the file button too, and you can jump in here and do things like make new projects, save as, save a copy, or load up recent things too. Plus these four buttons down here, which now work with the new ribbon controller, which is kind of like the one on the Jam. And one of the last dedicated buttons I want to talk about is the lock one. I love the new lock feature that's in all the machines, and it's cool that the Mark III's actually got the lock feature built in now. Means you can be playing a pattern and totally destroy it and then bring it back to where it was. So if I was playing this, I can hit lock, start tweaking things, and then when I take it off again, it'll all snap back to where it was before, like this. You can even save some preset locks as well. So if I do shift and lock mode, I can jump in here and jump to different snapshots, I suppose, that I've made of different knob twists and mutes and things like that. Yeah, some are as simple just as a mute like this. And some are totally different with knob adjustments. And I love how you can morph through these as well too. Let's put that on travel and make it take like 4 bars to morph all the way through. And then make it snap back. It's even got an audio interface in it now. If you look just there, you've got a dedicated headphone output with its own physical volume control, line out physical volume control, jack outputs, mic input, jack inputs, and MIDI outputs, and a pedal controller too. This makes it a real all-in-one beast. It's great too. It probably means you're going to get more solid compatibility between your software, your hardware, and the audio interface, all just going to work better together. Also going to make it great for sampling things in and for live performance. For all you pad drummers out there like me, I think you're all going to really like the new pads. They're much bigger, much nicer to play on. Much easier to get 2 fingers on. And they seem to trigger way better right up into the corners. Much more consistent. I'm really excited about the ribbon controller too. This is something I asked for a while back, to let you manipulate your sounds on your pads with your left hand while you're finger drumming. So you can do things like adjusting the pitch, change the modulation, whatever your mod's set up for in your mod wheel. You can do performance effects. You can choose from the menu of all the different performance effects, things like flanger and stuff. Or even do cool things like the stutter edit might come in handy as well, doing things like this. Could be fun for build-ups and things like that too. And there's also the notes mode where you can trigger sounds almost like you're strumming a guitar. You just go into keyboard mode and use this here. And you can even set the scale to be, say, like major or minor. All different sorts. They've also designed their own kind of new encoder here, which is really cool. Not only does it scroll like before, but you can tab through left and right and things. So I could be doing things like selecting drums, tabbing to the right, choosing hats, and then scrolling through my results and loading something up just by clicking it in. All the knobs here along the top too are also touch sensitive now. So when you touch them, you get the context menu. See how it changes there? That's really cool. So you know what's coming up, what are you scrolling towards. Well, there you have it. Loads of awesome new features in the new Maschine MK3 from Native Instruments. The old one has been a centerpiece of my workflow for many years, and this one just takes it all to the next level. I can't wait to incorporate this into my day-to-day in the studio. I'm going to do a bunch more videos about this too, so if you have questions, leave them below in the comments, and there's going to be more tutorials and performances and stuff coming up soon. If you like this video, remember to click like and subscribe too for lots more machine and music production videos. I'm Bass Clef. Till next time.